Oh my goodness, look at that beautiful sunrise right there. Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today, doing a little early morning Dark Zone farming run, and there's a couple things that I've been wanting to discuss, so I figured we'd bundle it all into one, and you'll come along with me as I do this here, and we'll go over those various points. The main topic overall that kind of connects all these things that I want to go over is the fact that as of tomorrow, we are now 2 weeks away from the launch of the Division 2's next season and update, and as we, I think, all know by now, things have been very odd with it, at least in the way they're marketing it, because we've had, aside from the PTS that we had for TU21 a few weeks back, there has been radio silence about what's coming, what kind of features, what kind of other changes besides the new gear. I think I'm beginning to get a picture of what they might be going for here. We'll see if that pans out, you know, in the coming days and 2 weeks here. But yeah, it's definitely very interesting. And one of the main things in relation to that I wanted to go over was some interesting posts and information that was made available on Reddit in the past. I think it was maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I debated whether or not I wanted to do a full-on like presentational video on it, like I normally do for things like that, because it is labeled as data mines, and I know for many that is a very sensitive topic, and so I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to approach it. That's why I kind of ultimately went with the idea that it'd be better to discuss them in this kind of a format rather than do, like I said, a direct like presentational video. So I just want to preface, we are going to discuss some of those things here, but I do want to make it very clear that none of the things we're going to go over include any story spoilers or data mines whatsoever. It's all about potential upcoming content additions that they might be making to the game. So again, if story spoilers are something that you are sensitive to, then do not worry. We're not going to talk about anything in that realm. But yes, we are going to, I just want to at least discuss, in a theoretical sense, some of these posts that went on Reddit, because they were very interesting to see, and I'd be very curious to hear your guys' thoughts on them. Oh, I guess that was the sunset, because now it's nighttime out. Awkward. Anyway, so where this all began is that there were a sequence of 3 posts made to the Division's official subreddit by this one account. Now, I do want to preface this right off the bat. All of this stuff is completely, maybe hypothetical is not the right word, but until we get official confirmation on anything like this from the developers, this should all be taken with a massive grain of salt. And I say that for 2 reasons. One, anytime you're talking about data mine information posted by some random account that we can't verify, you have no idea they could be making all of this stuff up completely. Now, they have some photos and other evidence to back up their claims that, you know, potentially give us some credibility there. But again, until it's officially confirmed, you have to take it with a grain of salt. The other somewhat, you know, interesting thing about this is that this account that posted all this has like no other things on it. It seems like it was made. They made some of these posts, they commented a few times on their posts, and they haven't like done anything on that account since. Does that necessarily mean that the information is inaccurate? No, but it does, you know, I think give it a slightly less credibility compared to an established account that then posts something like this, right? Regardless, 3 posts were made, and the, you know, main thing about all 3 of them is that they pertain to various things that this person claims to have data mined regarding the Division 2's upcoming update, which is presumably Year 6 Season 1. There's a chance that this stuff maybe was tied to future updates that they found, but most often, you know, data miners are finding stuff about the upcoming content, the most recent upcoming content, because that is the stuff that the developers will put in the files. Also, one other disclaimer to give before we talk about this, I'm trying to cover all my bases here. When it comes to data mining stuff and looking into game files, it's always a possibility that you're finding stuff that either has been in there for a long time and went unused and is no longer planned to be followed up on, or, you know, in some way, shape, or form is old stuff, right? Again, this person claims that this is all tied to the newer content, and there's some photos and evidence that they give to back that up. But, again, keep that in mind. What do you think you're doing here? You think you're going to farm with me? I don't know if I requested that. I do have a large number of DZ resources in my bag that I have been saving up this whole time. But is it worth risking it? I don't know. Anyway, like I said, 3 posts. The first one, and I'll put these images up, again, spoiler warning if you don't want to see potential content things. The first one is quite interesting because it shows a outfit that was potentially going to be added to the game. It probably won't anymore, though, because it actually depicted what looked to be a crossover outfit with the Division Heartland, which, of course, was unfortunately announced to be canceled just the other week. I'll try and put up a side-by-side with the character in Heartland that this looks like it would have been tied to. But yes, indeed, it looks like that might have been something that the Division 2 team had planned, and I don't know if they would really go forward with that anymore after the cancellation of the game. I will leave your Fenris chess piece. I will. But I am taking your DZ resources. Sorry, not sorry. And again, if you wanted some kind of thing to point to say that, yes, this is all in relation to potential upcoming content, Obviously, they've never done any kind of cross-promotion with The Division Heartland, or they didn't up until its cancellation. So you would think that, yes, anything they found in relation to that would probably be for upcoming updates, obviously before the cancellation was announced, but you get my point there. So that one was very interesting, and again, with the photos, it helps, you know, lend some credence and credibility to their claims. Then there was another one they made regarding the potential 25th or 26th, I'm not sure, Hunter mask, right? The one with the missing hook, or the empty hook, I should say, in New York, that we've all been speculating over. They found this icon photo that'll show up on here that they say they have no idea, you know, it doesn't give any kind of suggestion as to where you can acquire it, but it's just there. And that's a mask that we don't yet. It doesn't look like one that we have access to in the game yet. So potentially that could be our first look at this mask that does indeed fill that hook in New York. So again, that's very interesting. But then I think the one that I find the most compelling, because if, you know, to be believed, or if it's true in any way, it would back up some of the theories and speculation that we've all, the discussions, I should say, that we've been having over the past many weeks. Okay, can I hit this last headshot? Thank you. Because it suggests that there could be some content additions coming with Year 6 Season 1 that we have not yet been let know about. And this, like I said, backs up a lot of theories people have had, myself included, after we've heard various comments by the developers kind of hinting or suggesting that Year 6 Season 1 could have content coming with it, even though the original roadmap back in December just said it was going to have quality of life fixes and a new manhunt. And obviously the PTS that we had didn't feature any kind of content. It just showed us new gear options that were coming with the season and the reward track. But just as a quick refresher, we had comments from Yannick, who is the game's creative director, talking about how while they are working on things like the Brooklyn DLC and the Seasons 2.0 and endgame revamp for Season 2 of Year 6, he did say there's stuff we're working on that we haven't announced yet coming prior to that. And again, is there a chance he messed up his words there? Sure. But that, again, wouldn't line up with things that we had heard previously. There were a lot of comments made by developers about how they were quite excited to see what was coming in Year 6. There's just been a lot of stuff. And combined with the fact that we're so close now to this update's release and we've heard so very little about it, it adds up, right? It adds up to a suspicious feeling that myself and many have, that maybe there's more coming than we've been led on to. And so what this last post in data mine seemingly found, and again, I'll put a picture of it up on screen, this person said that there were various lines that they found in the files and in the code. Again, they say in relation to Year 6 Season 1 about things that that we have not seen in the game. So again, take a look. For example, it talks about things like a life-draining device being on the field. Again, that's not something I think that we've ever heard Isaac say, or that we have anything like that in the game. And then there was some sort of lines from an announcer talking about how zones are going active, deactivating, rotating around. And while that might at first sound like the domination game mode in Conflict, it's actually not, because in domination all the zones are active at once. You don't have points A, B, and C rotating in and out of availability. And so what a lot of the people commenting on this post conclude is that, again, if these things are to be real, if they're to be believed, then this could potentially hint at there being a new upcoming global event with the life-draining device thing. That's at least what most people are thinking that sounds like, as well as potentially a new Conflict game mode, maybe similar to King of the Hill, or, you know, X-Defiant just put out Occupy is a similar idea where it's these different zones going around that you need to try and keep control of to gain points. So, I don't know. Again, the whole point of me making this video is I do not know whether or not these things are really going to pan out or not, but it's certainly very interesting. It's certainly something I think is worth taking into consideration, given everything else that we've been talking about and that we've heard about Year 6 Season 1. And I'll be honest, it's much more believable. Oh, you gonna flag up? Oh, he wants his stuff back. Oh, goodness. That stagger might have kind of saved me. Can I get out of this corner? Maybe. As we're gonna take him out. All right, hang on. Back to our conversation in just a moment here. There we go. What I was gonna say is it's much more plausible to me that, because if the theory is like Year 6 Season 1 is bringing an all new game mode that they've kept entirely secret and they didn't test it all and they're now just gonna throw it out into the live game when the update goes live. Is that possible? Sure. Is it believable? I don't know. You would think that in some way, shape, or form we would have heard about that by now, right? But if, for example, the kind of surprises coming with Year 6 Season 1 were a 7th global event, a new conflict mode, probably on the existing maps, right? But still a new mode to play through. That sounds much more plausible to me in terms of something they've kept secret and are now just going to throw out there as a surprise pretty much when the update goes live, right? So again, I don't want to say this is for sure true. That's not what I'm saying in the least. But like I said, it sounds much more plausible to me, and I could see that being a reality that we find out in 2 weeks' time. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. I know, I'm sorry. I left your backpack, though. Did you go and get that? I don't know if you did. Well, I hope you have a great day, sir. A really great one. Like an amazingly great one. And I'll see you around. Alright, I'm going to head for the extraction because I have it pinned on the top right there. If I extract once, I get my daily project done, and we'll get all the rewards tied to that. But yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to go over in this video, folks. Both the fact that we are now, yes, 2 weeks away. Oh, come on. You can't put in the DZ drop right as I'm about to finish up what I'm doing and expect me not to go for it. All right, quick detour. But yeah, I wanted to, again, talk about the fact that Year 6 Season 1 is now, 2 weeks and a day away. And that is very both exciting and slightly concerning, the fact that we haven't heard anything yet. But again, I think there's a plan in place. We're going to see what shakes out there. But also the fact about these potential data mine posts on Reddit that went out. Definitely very curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I'll stress one final time, even though I think the majority of you get the point, this stuff is not confirmed in any way, shape, or form. I wanted to bring it up in this kind of a video format simply for the purposes of discussion, to see what you guys thought. And so, yeah, I'll be very curious to hear all that down below. I love the fact that you can actually, see the drop coming in, that the plane goes over. Does it really matter? No. Is it a tiny minor detail? Yes, but that's the kind of stuff I love about the Division games. Oh, we got somebody else here. I'm afraid this is my supply drop. I did claim it the moment that it popped up on all of our maps, so I'm sorry about that. Is this person going to try and flag if I take this? We'll find out. We're good. All right. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we find out in these next 2 weeks. Obviously, we got Ubisoft Forward coming up. That is 2 weeks from today. That's the day before Year 6 is set to begin. So that'll be exciting, both for Division stuff and obviously all of any other announcements that Ubisoft might make. I'm certainly excited for that. And then, yeah, pretty soon here, we're going to start finding out more about what's coming next for the Division 2. And I'm excited for it. Making it out with 67 DZ resources. I'll take it. All right, hook this on here. And there we go. We get our daily project done, just like that. So there we go, folks. Thank you for coming on this quick little DZ farm with me. Little morning grind. Good chat. I'm glad we got some of that stuff covered. Again, like I said, interested to see what's coming up in these next few days and weeks. Let me know all your thoughts down below about what we covered, and I will see you all very soon. Until then, RogueGold out.